Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, we'd like to give our praises and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. The one is to the elders and apostles, great man stone. Shalom to you, brothers and highways and byways, preaching, teaching His word in sincerity and in truth. Yeah, this is your brother Shapal from the Jamaica camp with a quick lesson on update on the RFID microchip, which is the MOTB, the mark of the you-know-what, written in Revelation 13 verse 16. And this is another update, and this one is basically showing you what Jamaica is going to be like in the coming future, or where this is heading, you know, because what you need to understand is this is a one world government, a global plan, right? Each and every country have a mandate. There's some countries that are further than some, right, in carrying out this mandate, which is that every country is supposed to go digital. It's supposed to have a digital database. Everyone is supposed to have a digital ID to connect them to that digital database. That will be your identity in this digital utopia that the banking elites of this society, right, is creating. A world where everything is run digitally, right? So what that means is that you will be controlled, you will be tracked 24/7. Whatsoever you do will be monitored and tracked, you know what I mean? And if you don't go the way of the state, then, you know what I mean, they can turn off, you know what I mean, your privileges to society, which means you can't eat, you can't drink, you can't buy anything, right? So that's total control, and no matter where you go, you can't get goods and services, you know. That's where the society is heading, and Jamaica is heading right in that direction. It's just moving a bit slower, right? But that is where it's heading. Now you have countries like China, Sweden, you know what I mean, and a lot of countries that are far ahead. And this is just an example, man, because now here you have the NIDS, the NIDS, which is the framework. Now ultimately you're gonna have this chip, right, embedded under the skin, right? Now it's legal in the US for people to chip their pets, you know what I mean? So if them lost, you know, them can be found and, you know, can be ID'd or identified, you know what I mean? Because all of them information is going to be on that device that are going to be implanted under their skin, right? And that's the same thing that's going to go for human beings, you know, which is going to bring you into a more dire, harsher form of slavery than when you're out there in the cotton field, man, speaking about our people. Now, I'm going to play this video. It's like for the noise in the background, just about, you know, the elements, you know. So I'll play this video and I'll show you what's happening in it, and then we'll get some scripture just for you know, just for prove the point, right?
So the latest in this dystopian outrage that is now all of China apparently is I once again cannot buy food. A couple days ago, my uncle and my cousin helped me get a cell phone that is linked to a Chinese bank card so that I could buy anything. But now, apparently, it has been flagged for some reason, and I have to pass facial recognition identity verification, which is insane, because all I want to do is just spend my gift card balance on this debit card. I can't believe I'm doing this. I have to open my mouth. Oh my god. Terrifying. And of course, because it was my cousin who set this up for me, I did not pass verification. I guess it's a good thing that the Chinese app is not racist. But now, I once again can't buy anything.
Alright. So, what happened there is that there is certain verification that she has to go through, right? Because this video there's part one of this video that was passed, like, that came out probably a couple months already, wherein she had visited China, and once she reached at the airport, she couldn't buy anything, she couldn't pay for anything. You know, she had was to call her family, and she couldn't even make a phone call because she wasn't hooked up to the grid, right? And once she had contacted them, you know, they came and they had to pay for everything, you know, and such. Now, they had gotten her a cell phone and, you know, a couple other things, and, you know, try to have her connected, you know what I mean, so she can, you know, do her business or, you know, provide for herself while she's there and so forth, because she's not, as you can hear her accent, you know, she's more of a Western, you know, American or whatever, right? And basically you can see that she's been shut out. She's even trying to create a profile, you know what I mean, to get connected to the grid, and, you know, it's refusing her, saying we used to go back to total control, man, you know. So she's been shut out, she can't buy nothing, she can't eat, she can't pay for anything, man, you know. It's not that she don't have cash or anything like that, but she just can't spend it, you know what I mean. And isn't that total control, man? This is what Jamaica is heading into, you know. And a lot of people might say, oh, it's far-fetched, oh, you know, but this is what it's heading into, man, right? Let me get, and this is prophecy, right? This is prophecy, because this is the end all, the all. Let me get the scripture in Revelation. This is Revelation 13 and verse 16. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor. So all to receive a mark in their free and bond, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. Right? Verse 17, that no man might buy or sell save he that have the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So at least you have that mark, which go back to that RFID microchip that we're speaking about, right? Because forget the digital ID, because that's just a setup, a framework. Once everybody is on the digital ID, then we're going to move on, because you can lose your ID, you can leave your ID, right? This device in your hand, you can't lose it. It's basically a part of you. It's impossible. You have to cut off your hand basically if you lose it. See? So this is where these men going with it, man, to implant something under your skin. So you can't, and it's already, people are already taking this device. You understand? But it's not yet mandatory, you know. So let me go into the word where we have here mark, right? And you have charagma, right? It's a stamp, an imprinted mark. See it? It's A says a stamp, a mark stamped in the forehead and the right hand, and a badge for the followers of the Antichrist, you know, so forth. It says mark branded upon horses, right? Because, you know, back in the Asian times, even now, you know, you have horses, you know, cattle, you know, which was branded to show ownership, which farm them come off, and so on and so forth. See? So the owner would brand them on horse just to show ownership. This is basically no different. See? So you're gonna have something implanted into you. That's the mark of the beast. The beast, you know what I mean, is NATO and the EU, ESA, and this is the system, this utopia, this digital society, which them get total control. You know what I mean? See? So that's charagma. Now when the root word for charagma is charax, You know, we're breaking this thing down because we need to, and we do this a lot of times, going over and over these breakdowns, because we're living at a time now where these things are happening right before our eyes and people need answers, man. And there's nobody else who the Lord had bestowed the spirit of wisdom and forgive our people the truth. You know, because they don't know, man. You know, but these things were spiritually given unto a few men. You know, Kalalali Haubashime Haushai. Right? So the root word for Korang is Korax. It says a pale stake or palisade. See? Example 2 is a palisade or rampart, a pale between which earth and stone. Yeah, but it goes into a pale or stake. Right? Something sharp, you know, we can make an incision, which depict the device, you know, that's a syringe that's gonna inject, you know, that device into your hand. When you look on people that are getting the RFID microchip through the 4 corners of the earth, that's the device for them use, a syringe, which represent a pale, a stake, or a rampart. Now, back in ancient time, the John and the Highland of Patmos got this vision, and it's giving you a description. When you read the scripture, it's giving you a description, a breakdown of what he's seeing. And he couldn't tell you that it's a syringe. He couldn't tell you that it's going to be the RFID microchip or whatever, you know what I mean? But he's giving a description of what he knew, you know, and in his time, you know. So we're going on the root word for Korax, right? We get grapher, and this is the point, a great point in this lesson, and a very valid point. It says to write with reference in the form of a letter, right? So example 2b, we just jump to the point 2b. It said to commit to writing things not to be forgotten. Write down, right? And you have record. Write down record. Things that are not to be forgotten. Now, this woman, all of her information, her biometrics, her fingerprint, her passport, driver's license, her purchasing history, you know what I mean, her credit history, you know what I mean, you know, our track record in terms of police record, if she's been in, every single thing about her was not written down in the system. They need all of that information. All of those things was not in the system. See? So therefore she couldn't do anything. She couldn't buy, she couldn't sell, she couldn't do anything. Man, as the scripture says, if you don't have that device, or if you're not hooked up to that system, you can't do anything. And this is one of the things it needs, man. The reference in what we're reading, grapher, it means all of your biometric information going to be consolidated, put on that device or in the system, so that the system can recognize you, right? So the system can analyze and recognize you as an individual. She just came to China, you know, into a system that has already been implemented. So when she came, she's a foreigner. She never go through the process, all of these things. She never have none of her biometrics information, you know what I mean, anything about her written down or anything into the system, you know. So therefore, she couldn't do any transaction or anything. That shows that this goes hand in hand with what the scripture says, man. It's undeniable. It's undeniable. And now she's locked on. Now basically, she have to depend on her family. But I would say now, all these things we see happening here, it just proves that the scriptures are real, and it is what the scripture says it is, and it's gonna reach right here at home, man, in Jamaica, throughout the world. But speaking about our people out here in Jamaica, man, this is gonna hit home. You know? Alright. So we'll just go over to Revelation 4. And we can start at verse 9. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast, right, which is near to an EU, right, and his system, or and his image, right? Which is this digital society, this dystopia as she described it, you know, right? I receive the mark, which is that device that is going to tie you to the system. Is your identity. It is your identity into the system, right? In his forehead or in his right hand, you know, which, you know, a lot of people are going to get it, you know, them right hand, left hand, whatever. It's so if any man, you know, worship the beast and such, you know, as scripture said, any man do these things or accept this device, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, right, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of the hand of his indignation, and shall be tormented with fire and with brimstone in the presence of the holy angel and in the presence of the Lamb, in the presence of the Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, because the Lord will come and dish out his judgment just the same, you know. So if you take this thing, you know, you're going to be destroyed. Basically, that's it. That's the ultimate test, because you're saying that this is your Lord, is your creator, because guess what? This is what the IOPs are getting to show that, look, we have created a dystopia, or a society which is being controlled. These people have to come to us for anything that they want, you know. I'm going into the word worship. Right, it says worship. I'm going to go down here, right, in the meaning. It said to meaning to kiss like a dog licking the hands of his master, or licking his master's hand. Meaning to kiss like a dog licking his master hand when you go and worship. The scripture says, if you worship the beast, you know, if you worship the system, meaning if you give in to the system and you choose the system to be your way of life, you know, to give you food, to do anything, just like, oh, you're dependent on the Lord, or your shy, to provide food, provide safety, to provide, you know what I mean, everything that you need, you know. That's a lot of people that will give in to the system because they need to live, so they won't give over, you know what I mean, I receive that. But the ones that are going to go aside and say, look, no, we will depend on the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Those are the ones that the Lord are going to have mercy and deliver. Lords will be a part of the number we don't know. But right now, that's the ultimate test that's coming, man. This thing. And I will say before, it's not far from Jamaica, because guess what? The NIDS that's coming, you're going to need that that's going to be your identity, you know, to this digital society, you know what I mean? That digital ID that's been implemented now, right? But just another note before, you know, before we get the scripture, is that, look, this woman is been shut out. She can't do anything. She can't, you know, she can't eat, drink, nothing at all. You know what I mean? Just to show you, right? Now, just to show you the minds of these men. If you're not with them, then you're going to die. We don't care. If you don't go with us, if you are not on board on this system that we're creating, then it's best you stay there and die. Show you that these men don't give a damn about you, man. You know? 2 Ezra 6 and verse 68. It says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle, with things offered unto idols, right? Which is the same thing that we're discussing. So a lot of our people will get taken away into camps and whatever it may be, in the time of Jacob's trouble, and you're going to be given that device, you know what I mean, just to tag you, you know what I mean, and such. And it says they will take away certain of you, right, and feed you with things being offered unto idol, right? And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and reproach and trodden on a foot. So anyone will consent into taking this device, is going to be in reproach, trodden on the foot, meaning you're going to be destroyed, man, because that's what Esau Edom is all about. Trying to get you to turn from your power. Once you give in and say, look, okay, cool, I can't go eat, I can't go drink, I can't go do this. He becomes a master, and it shows that worse if you're a man of the Lord out there and eyes and the Bible speaking against him, and now you turn, you know what I mean, and it's going to destroy you, man. You know? See? And guess what? The Lord are going to destroy you just the same as written in Revelation 14 and 10, 9, 10 on down. As it shows you the judgment of the Lord, you're going to be, you know what I mean, tormented with brimstone and fire in the presence of the Lord. You know? So, this is the ultimate test coming, man. If you're with the Lord, if you're with the system or the way of life of the society, you know, that's the ultimate test, the ultimate decision, right, what man kind of make. Now, we hope and pray that we are part of the ones that say, look, forget you, you know what I mean, and the system, you know what I mean. The Lord will feed us, because the Lord carry ravens to feed men, Elijah, you know. The Lord fed the children of Israel when they came out of Egypt, you know what I mean. The Lord fed multitude with a couple of fishes and bread. There's countable stories, man, so we know. I will pray and hope that we have the same faith in the Yahweh that is going to feed us, you know. But just to give you a update that it's coming to Jamaica, whether you like it or not, this is where it's heading, you know. This is where it's heading. All the mandate that Hans Rollins has gotten, you know, everything is going to be in stages. So now it's at NIDS. Further on, it's going to be something else, and it's going to be a major thing that's going to happen, a major event, which are going to force a lot of people to think to give up them freedom and to take the ID or whatever else them are going to push on them. Man. That's how they work. So we don't want to give our praises, honor, and glory to how Bashim and how Shai, Bashim and Kakodash. Love honest to the elders and apostles of great millstone. Shalom to your brothers and highways and the byways, preaching, teaching this word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom.